What is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I am from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. And no, I am not dressed up as Santa Claus. I'm just a random fat guy with a beard that's turning white. We're really visible at this time of year. But, of course, I'm joined by two guys that don't mind having their chestnuts roasted over an open fire. Feels good, right?
It's one of my favorites.
They are, of course, Joe Day and EPR Pahalik. How you doing, boys?
Fantastic. I'm doing great.
You got those warm chestnuts.
I always have warm chestnuts year round, baby. It's because of my fat thighs. They
should be in the summer, but
yeah. Those chestnuts just sticking right up against the thigh. I will tell you this though. If you hear some noise in the background, I've got Rob baking Christmas cookies, so I apologize ahead of time. But yeah, he's making Christmas cookies all day.
What are we talking? What are we talking about? What's the recipe? What's the menu? What are we talking?
Fancy cookies. I can't even describe what they are. They I don't know. They tasted good. The little sample I had, but there's like a cheesecake. What do we got here, Rob? What is this?
Black sesame and matcha shortbread.
Black sesame and
whatever. Just
matcha corn
shit off this podcast.
Good. But I have a Christmas beer as well.
Oh, nice.
So my friends Kim and Sonny, I've talked about them on the pod before. With I think this time of year, they make their own beer every Christmas. Santa's Superdelic Stash. Look at that label. They always make their own beer every Christmas. Always give me a couple of bottles of it. Always very tasty. So I'll wash down that matcha sesame cookie with a little homemade beer.
Okay. Wow. How's it going, EP?
I'm doing good. I actually have a beverage too. I'm going to crack it open here quick.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah. Who made that for you, EP?
Actually, it is the official, unofficial sponsor of Mike's Retro Trading Cards, Rusty Rail Brewing Company. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I can't believe they haven't reached out yet.
I know.
Got to be coming in 2025, right?
Yep.
Has to be.
Fingers crossed.
Well, of course, Christmas is only a couple days away. So are you guys ready? I mean, are you ready? The real question. Somebody getting your cards? Tell us in the comments. Are you getting cards? Yeah. Are you asking for cards? You know what I miss about Christmas? I miss getting the Sears catalog and flipping through it to the football uniforms page. I used to I wanted all the different uniforms when I was a kid, with the little face mask on it and the plastic helmets. I was a big fan of the football uniforms in the Sears catalog. I miss those days. It was 80 years ago or something like that. They did that. If you're watching and you're younger, a catalog was this big, gigantic thing with all these pages that showed stuff you could buy.
They made them out of
the internet in a book.
Yeah, they made them out of paper.
Explain Sears as well.
Sears was a store. It's kind of like Walmart, but it was Sears.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, though, before we say anything else, this Friday night, Friday morning, you'll be seeing 3 cards you need in your retro PC because, that's what we do. Wednesday, you're going to be seeing the first ever Mike's Retro Trading Card Hobby Awards for 2024. You don't want to miss that one. But Friday night, we're double dipping on Friday, 8:00 Friday night. We're going to have our latest episode of 8 Questions. It's back, but with a twist. We have both Ed and Chuck from Silver Sports.
Chuck and Ed, not Ed and Chuck.
Yeah, well,
Chuck's Army for sure, right here, baby.
Yeah, I run the show here. Ed runs the show there. I kind of lean toward
you. I get that. Makes sense.
But you're not gonna want to miss this one. This one is off the rails. It's crazy. You're going to get a lot more than you think you're going to get. We had 10-minute videos when everybody else did this with their quick little answers. You're not going to get quick little answers.
Supersized.
Sounds like we have a whole week of appointment television. Appointment YouTube. Yeah. Right. Appointment YouTube right here on this.
Set your TiVo. Set your TiVo for that for sure. No, the guys at Silver Sport, the reason I wanted to have them on the channel, they're us, man. They bust each other's balls pretty much every video.
Chestnuts.
Yeah, chestnuts for the holiday season. They bust each other's chestnuts every video. They've been friends
They
for decades.
roast them, if you will.
They roast each other's chestnuts. That might be a mid-90s Ed reference, I think. Watch the show. But yeah, we had a blast with them. I even said halfway through, I'm like, we're like a half hour in and we're about halfway through. So we might need to keep it moving a little bit. And I was a little upset I didn't crack open a beer because they felt like guys I could just chill out, crack open a beer and shoot the shit with for an hour. It was just a lot of fun. Definitely watch it. I'm excited for that one.
And just because Christmas falls on Wednesday doesn't mean you're not allowed to watch the show we have coming out Wednesday. You watch that award show because, like I've said, I might say in the future sometime, we can see what you're doing. We can see. We know if you're watching or not. So you make sure.
Yeah.
Tell the family to wait. If the kids are running down and they want to open their presents, you're like, hold on. I got to watch this first.
From
Put it
7
on
to
the
7:30.
TV in the
You can wait 20
background. I
minutes.
don't care.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can wait 20 minutes. That's fine.
I think it's a little longer than 20 minutes this week. But
Yeah.
We're long.
We got played off a couple of times
we did.
during our acceptance speeches.
Yeah. So, what's new and exciting, Joe?
I got a couple of things here at the top. We already talked about the Silver Sports thing. By the way, if you watched, Michael Penix started and won this week, I think. Started and won this week against the New York Giants. Didn't look great, but I'll tell you who told you to invest in Michael Penix a few weeks ago. We don't give investment advice, and I wasn't doing it in this case. I was telling you not to invest in quarterbacks because it's stupid. But if you're going to, someone like Penix makes sense. He gets the start. Hopefully you people listen to me because I didn't listen to myself. I really should have bought some Michael Penix cards and flipped them. But there is hope. Kenny Pickett looking good. Driving the Eagles to a win potentially. I don't know. He did get into the game after Jalen Hurts got hurt. So invest in Kenny Pickett. That's not actual advice. So, Mike, you and me, we've been talking about this.
Okay.
We're talking about Cheers cards. So Rittenhouse just released the sell sheet for the Cheers cards. And my God, if you haven't seen it, go to Rittenhouse's website. I think it's Sci-Fi Hobby. Go to Rittenhouse's website. Check it out. The cards look freaking amazing. On-card autographs, because if you say you like sticker autos, you're lying. On-card autographs. You've got Ted Danson, Kelsey Grammer, George Wendt, Ratzenberger, Behringer, who was a guest star for a few episodes. You've got a ton of really, really cool people signing cards. The reason I bring this up, Mike, we're talking about each getting a case at least. Now, here's the thing. This is what I want to ask everyone. If Mike's Retro Trading Cards did a break at cost of Cheers cards, would people be interested? So comment down below if you would, and we're talking 125-ish bucks a box. It would be like a draft style. You know, I'd open up the boxes. If you pick one in the randomizer, you get to pick the first box, second box. I mean, we're all just kind of thinking out loud here with this, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. Cheers, right up our alley. I bet you a lot of people who watch us watch Cheers. So if you'd be interested in a 12-box break of Rittenhouse Cheers, comment below EP and let us know. I think it'd be a blast.
I think so too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Cheers is just amazing, right? I see you guys talking about this, and you know, I didn't respond to it, but I'd be in for sure. It's an awesome show.
Well, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know something different. We don't usually do this kind of stuff, but we're trying to give it to you at a cheaper. We're not doing this to make money. We're not doing this to become breakers. We're doing it because we think you guys might be interested in it because we are, and we want to share the wealth a little bit. So if you are interested, let us know in the comments for sure.
And the boxes will probably be cheaper than what you would be able to buy them online for from the person I know who orders hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Rittenhouse product. He's going to give me basically for cost. So I'm going to open up at least a case. Mike's thinking about it. So I think it'd be fun for us to open one up for the channel.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Well, you know, we are only a couple days away from Christmas. And because we're really not nice people most of the year, we try to make up for it all at once at the end of the year. Last year, we did a little Christmas giveaway. I thought it might be fun to give that option to our viewers again. Do you guys want to win free stuff? I know you do because you're on the internet. Everybody on the internet is here for one reason, and that is to win free stuff.
Retweeting stuff left and right, baby.
What we're going to do again this year, we're going to have 3 different prize packages. Each one of us have picked stuff out of our own collections that we're going to make available. And all you have to do to enter is say whatever it was that we decided before this podcast.
Favorite Christmas movie.
Your favorite Christmas movie in the comments below. If we don't get 1,000 comments on this between the cheers and the other stuff and this, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can comment 10 times. You're only going to be counted once, but still.
Yeah.
Let us know your favorite Christmas movie in the comments, and you'll have a chance to win ... Joe, what do you have that they could win?
So what did I open the most of this year, boys? I opened up a lot.
I don't even know.
I
Star
know.
Trek movies in motion.
I opened up a lot of Star Trek, and I opened up a lot of Fleer Ultra Wolverine. So I'm going to do a combo of those things.
Okay.
I am going to give complete sets of Picard Season 1 and Picard Season 2 and 3. Complete base sets of those, okay? So 2 60-card sets. You'll get both of them. And I'm also going to put together, I'm not exactly sure what yet, but I'm going to pull a lot of Fleer Ultra Wolverine. There's going to be pop culture art cards. There's going to be medallions in there. There's going to be foil variants in there. It's just going to be like a grab bag of some really fun Fleer Ultra Wolverine stuff. So, yeah, I opened up a ton of both of those products. I have a ton left of both those products. Lucky for you guys, you're going to get some of those products.
Nice.
That's awesome.
EP, what do you have in your prize pack?
Okay, well, I have some packs first. So I have a 1991 Pro Set Platinum, which we talked about before. It's a pretty cool set. Chance for Brett Favre rookie there. 1990 Fleer Premier Edition. I believe there's a chance for a Emmitt Smith card in there. A 1991-92 Skybox basketball pack.
Ooh,
and
I love that set.
Yeah, a chance to get like an older Jordan. There's no big rookies that year, but I mean older Jordan. It's NBA. 92 Fleer Ultra Baseball Series 1, which we talk about as the best smelling card ever in Series 2. And how about a 1992 Donruss pack, chance to get an elite. Then also a 1987 Donruss pack.
Oh, nice.
1987 Topps pack with gum. And
you have to eat the gum though, right?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Ooh, nice.
And a 1989 Donruss Cello pack.
Wow.
And I'm going to throw in one of my slab stands that I use on my shows.
Whoa.
And I'm going to throw in a Field Notes notebook, which is something I keep on myself pretty much all the time. Here's my current one, little torn up, and here's one that was all beaten up. So I'm going to throw in one of those, a blank one, not one of my filled ones, a blank one for you to write down your card stuff. And
it'd be wild if you sent a filled one with just all your really random notes, so people can see the crazy.
Yeah. It would also be awesome if you actually use that to like come up with ideas for the podcast or shows and stuff too. I kid.
I do. I've also got ideas in there, actually.
That's a very nice prize pack there. I should have gone before you because now I feel cheap, but I am cheap.
Same, a little bit.
So, first of all, I'm going to ship it to you in this brand new 400 count box that won't be new by the time it gets to you, but I just got a whole bundle of those. They came in this week. I'm really happy, but I have a prize pack of packs. Let's see what I have. I have a Skybox Marvel Universe. I'm giving you a 94-95 Superior Picks basketball with potential autograph cards in it. I have a 91-92 Hoops pack.
Nice.
I have a 90-91 Hoops pack. Probably has the Mark Jackson card with the Menendez brothers in it.
Oh,
probably.
Yeah, maybe.
I have a 1993 playoff football. I have 92 wild card. Definitely 1,000 straight Barry Sanders.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Right? Yeah.
I have a pack of 2008 Upper Deck Football Heroes. And we have Skybox Emotion EXL and packs of Leaf Limited 1994 Series 1 and Series 2.
Nice.
But that's not all. One other little thing, and this is the prized possession. It is the Mike from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. One of one. Autographed. Yes, that is my autograph. Sketch card. Blood red variant.
Blood red variant. Nice.
You remember there was a black version of this one that was done last year, but this is the blood red variant. And that, look at that. Look at that. That is real card stock too.
That is.
And that's the only one of one though, too, right? The only red one of one. Right?
Absolutely, yes. The only blood red variant one of one autograph Mike sketch card.
They're not printing any more of those. That's the only one. Yep.
They aren't. So yeah, if you want a chance to win any of this stuff, let us know your favorite Christmas movie. Now, are we going to count Die Hard when people say that?
I think we have to. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because EP would throw a fit.
Yeah, of course. It's the Christmas movie. Yeah, definitely.
I know. I just wanted to cause a problem. So.
No one from Canada.
Nobody from Canada.
No one from Canada.
You have to be in the United States.
Be continental.
If you're in Canada, you're not going to get this for like 8 months because they're so backed up from the strike that you never see it. So
yeah, we're going to charge you. We'll charge you shipping. If you want to do that, you can pay the shipping, but we're not.
Yeah, and it won't be worth it.
And there's no Boxing Day gifts. Like we're not doing that. So you're going to have to just deal with it.
You are.
And you know who you are, by the way.
You know who you are. All right. Well, should we get into things here? Interestingly enough, the lead story this week is Beckett has created a new umbrella company called Collectivists. Yes, I'm not making that up. It's called Collectivists. The new parent company of Beckett, Dragon Shield, I believe, is the trading card game manufacturer, not the manufacturer, the supply manufacturer, and Southern Hobby distributors. It's not new ownership. Nobody bought them. This is just like a reorganizing, kind of separating the hobby stuff from the other companies, that the other company that owns them and the guy who's in all the trouble and going to jail and stuff. Maybe this is kind of to break them away from that a little bit. But yeah, huge news. We are leading off with Collectivists for the rest of us. Joe, you're muted.
I should be muted after that low hanging fruit.
I should have been muted before I even said that.
It feels like shell game, right? Feels like a little bit of a shell game. I don't know. They got to do anything they can to change their brand. And short of Dr. Beckett buying it and taking it back over, which he's not going to. I mean, this does not move the needle for me. It is what it is. It's
Collectivists.
It's Collectivists.
Cool.
Sure.
Wait till we get
it's super cool. I can't wait for them to eventually be bought out by someone else. Fanatics, Collectors Universe.
I did reach out to them to see if they would send us some T-shirts, and they said, "I'm sorry, we don't have money to make T-shirts."
Yeah, they can't afford T-shirts. What are you talking about?
I mean, we talked about this. I think I sent one of the quotes or whatever from it. Like I felt like it was they were making a really big deal about this, but I think it's just a rebranding, right, of the company.
Yeah,
it's not. There's not even anything new here. I think they're all pretty much under the ownership already. Yeah, just but the one quote was like, "This is the greatest company in all of hobby collecting." I'm like, dude, are you paying attention to what has been going on lately? Because you're not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe not quite. I forgot to write down the name, but the guy, the guy who is the CEO of Southern Hobby is taking over the CEO of that. So, I mean, in a way, it's probably good to branch them off at least and give them the opportunity to try to succeed like as a group together and away from whatever investments and holding that the other company that actually owns all this is part of. But yeah, really nothing new here. They still have the same problems that they had before this. They're not going away. This doesn't change any of that. It is nice little PR for them, but really at the end of the day, not gonna make any difference, sadly.
Yeah, very sadly.
Like something like this, you need new leadership, right? Like to make a really big change in a company like this, like rebranding sounds cool and it sounds like something. Okay, we'll get everybody excited and we'll be better after this. But like, you need new leadership. You need a whole. The sea change needs to happen with the leader at the top, I think, right?
But the name, collectivists.
Sure.
Come on.
Yeah, that stop saying collectivist. It's freaking me out. Yeah, I mean that's the problem. I think when they were talking about it's the greatest name in hobby, yeah, when we got in the time machine and went back to 1998, 1999, 2000, but it hasn't been the leading name in the hobby for a very long time. And like you said, that's not going to change unless there's new leadership. But I don't even know who would say, "Hey, I'll do it." Who would jump in and say, "I'll take over Beckett"? I mean, maybe us. Should we just do it?
No.
I mean,
No.
yeah.
Although I would like to walk around saying I am Maximus Decimus Collectivus. No.
You've been working on that. You've been workshopping that all day.
Just did it in my head right now. That is brand new. Well, one thing that is going on though, they are getting $250 million investment. I can't invest.
Was that intentional? Was that
intentional? I've been saying collectivist so much that
oh my god, that's fantastic.
Anyway, from King Street, this is more of a loan, I guess, type thing, but this company is known for picking up some distressed companies and investing into them to try to turn them around a little bit to make money. So I kind of feel, while like the headline reads really nicely, if you take a step back and look at why it is that this company is investing in collectivists,
right?
Yeah, it kind of, I don't know, kind of feels like the buzzard's starting to circle, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it. And like, I don't know, like, are we going to be talking about Beckett in 2 years? Are we going to be talking about Beckett in a year? I mean, what's the over under on when this company just, sadly, like we were worried about Topps, just kind of goes kaput? I don't know who would want to take it over. And at this point, I don't know. Fanatics took over PWCC, and that was a pretty crap company that had a lot of stuff going on. So they might be the only ones to be able to breathe some life into it. But if nothing happens and we're here a year from now, I don't know if Beckett will be here a year from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of less of an investment and more of a bailout kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, I don't know if a bailout is going to be enough. Like they wouldn't. I mean, listen, we all dislike the Galactus that is in the hobby, but that's pretty much the only way that Beckett probably survives, right? At this point, like if they buy Beckett and they do something with the Beckett name, then that survives. If not, it just probably goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know I watched a video from Dustin, Sports Car Dad, where he talked about maybe PSA buying, but I don't see any value for PSA. Like, why you totally dominated them. I don't see. There's just, sadly, the Beckett name doesn't mean much anymore, and I feel like Fanatics is the only company that might be able to save it just because they're Fanatics, and people will be like, oh, well, Fanatics owns it now. It'll, like, whether it would be better or not, you would have people in the hobby going, okay, well, this is different, so maybe now they'll be better. But like the money that they said, this is supposed to go toward the growth, the expansion of all three companies. And I don't know a whole lot about, Dragon Shield and, Southern Hobby or whatever. But like, how does Beckett expand? I don't know, because they've been so bad for so long that the grading part with cards, especially, where do you go? What do you do?
And I was going to say, the one thing that might be able to keep their heads above water is the comic book side of it. But with PSA getting into that, like, PSA is not chipping that much away from CGC. CGC is a juggernaut in the comic book grading world. So if they're going to take from anyone, it's going to be So that, I don't know, just kind of workshopping it in my head as I'm talking out loud. Maybe CGC buys Beckett. So they buy their second biggest competition in the comic book world. And then they just happen to bring them on in the card world. And, it doesn't add much to that, but it's adding something to the comic book side of it. So, I mean, I think I might have mentioned that last week or the week before when we were talking about JSA, in some sort of context with that. But yeah, maybe CGC is the one to buy them. They have a parent company that has billions of dollars, right? So, maybe Blackstone is the answer.
I think Fanatics is possibly the answer. But when I think of Beckett, I think of Beckett Price Guide. That's the first thing I always think of. I know I think back on those days when being excited about going into my shop and getting the latest Beckett, and even after I closed the shop, still getting the Beckett at the Walmart and seeing what the prices of stuff were and everything like that. And so the thing is that we have like these new we have Sports Illustrated and The Athletic that are making these hobby news websites, these hobby news pages. And if they would put a little bit, would probably wouldn't take a ton of money, but something like Fanatics could buy it, the Galactus could buy it, and then they would have their own practically PR firm that was this really well known journalism piece of journalism that the hobby knows about. So I think that could be another way they could look at it as something that they would improve their stuff, their image, whatever.
Their standing, maybe even.
Yeah.
I think if you look at both of these stories together, I think it's pretty clear that this is all just the precursor to that being sold or the individual pieces being sold. Mm-hmm. Like, this company is not coming in and investing in Beckett because they think that Beckett, oh yeah, that can turn around and it'll be a big part. They're going to try to help them get themselves a little better so they can be sold. I don't know if they sell off all three parts individually, if they would do better, or if they package them up together. But this all seems to indicate to me that it's all for a sale. You don't, break those three companies away from all the others and into a new umbrella company and then have an investor come in. They're coming in, that's going to be sold. If it's not sold by the time we do the Christmas podcast next year, I will be totally surprised.
Yeah.
So.
Same.
All right. Let's move off of Beckett because it's so sad. Beckett is sad. Just so sad. We talked before about PSA offers, and I saw this. There was a little more information that had come out about this. We talked about it a couple podcasts ago. There are apparently fewer than 10 dealers that are involved with this buying of stuff that is in the PSA ecosystem. But it grew out of a meeting that Nat Turner had with Ryan Hogue and others, where they were kind of trying to find a way to matchmake, basically, for collectors, which I've talked about for so long. Like, make a way where people can say, hey, I am looking to buy this. How can you help? And apparently Nat Turner is one of those people who's like, hey, I'm looking to buy this. How can we help? And this has grown out of that. Nat was talking about all the sets that he's doing, and he has cars he's looking for that just don't pop up. And they were having this meeting and they were talking about strategy, and this is one of the things they want to do. So we talked about at the time, this does look like it's something that's going to grow into something bigger. And they would like it to get to the point where if you're looking for a card and you're a PSA, it would kind of grew out of, I'm not terribly familiar with the set registry, but apparently in there you can look for certain cards you're trying to upgrade, and it can be helped out trying to find those cards when they become available. They want to have a little broader system that'll work for collectors, where if you're looking for a card and it comes into the PSA ecosystem, you'll be notified and you'll be able to make an offer for it, which that person that owns a card could then have available to them to accept or reject. So again, if they can do this and get it, it's not going to be for, I'm looking for this insert that's a $2 card. Obviously, it's gonna. There are levels to.
Well, then what's the point?
To say, yeah. But I think this is a huge innovation, and this has been something I've harped on so many times, that the hobby needs to just stop looking only at the, oh, how can people sell side to how can we match up people who want to buy? They want to buy something. They're looking for it. And now we can give them a way to potentially buy it. I think this is great. And I really, really hope that this is something that they make a little more broader in their system there.
I think it's great. I will say that it is one of those things where I wish, like, this is Nat Turner has a lot of money, and he's like, let's create something to help me find cards like this.
Totally is, yeah.
And it honestly, it's what we would be like. Like if we had that kind of money, it's like, okay, I'm trying to build the 1997 PMG green basketball set. I have a couple I can't find. Let's try and build a technology where it's easier for me to find them. Joking aside, I mean, not joking because he totally is doing that, but joking aside about the ridiculousness of it. I mean, this is really great. You did mention this a couple of weeks ago. I know, Mike, some sort of matchmaking, and like I'm helping. It's kind of what's much smaller scale, but I'm helping someone build out their Patrick Stewart auto collection. Like I'm setting them up with some of the people I bought from before and this and that, and they're building that part out. But it's a cool idea, and you mentioned the set registry. It's a real thing. Like it is a thing that people are so obsessed about, and this is born out of that. And I wouldn't be surprised if 6 months from now, a year from now, Nat Turner, whatever sets he's putting together, are complete, and he's moving on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I listen to a lot of audio podcasts when I'm driving or whatever, hobby audio podcasts, and there are I hear a lot of conversations about collectors, the hosts or other collectors being on social media and then having people offer them cards and all this sort of stuff. Like there's a lot of interactions where these people find these, numbered to 10 gold Peyton Manning type cards, that kind of stuff. And there are a lot of people out there that are already doing this in social media. And so it makes sense for a company like eBay to try to do that. And I mean, like Mike said, this should have been a long time ago. This would definitely help sellers. Like as much as it's like trying to put yourself in the thought of the buyer, like it helps sellers too. Like sellers should be behind this 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. Like it's easier to sell something if there's somebody that wants that card. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's really cool, and I hope that it will. I mean, Nat needs to fill some of his sets that he has, so this will happen, and it's a good thing. Now, I'm not sure again how low of a level it'll get to for some of us. We may never use it, but Joe might if Patrick Stewart autograph, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, if it's like a $500 to $1,000 thing. Maybe, but I mean, if we're talking like 5-figure cards, I'm probably out on that a little bit.
But some of the cards people are getting offers on now were lower, like $100, $200 cards. So it would make sense that anything like $500 card, why wouldn't you want to match up a buyer and a seller for that? Yeah. And if you can do it all within your own ecosystem, like how great is that? Okay, right. You're sending your card to us at PSA to grade, and we're getting it. Okay, we have it graded. We know somebody's looking for this card in this grade. We can let them know, and then they can give you an offer right here through us, and the card's in our vault, and then we can switch it over to them. You don't have to do anything. The buyer doesn't have to do anything other than make an offer, and everybody's happy. And again, it just amazes me at how much better PSA has been at doing everything Michael Rubin wanted to do than Michael Rubin has done. They're not anywhere near where
you know why? Because they're run by an actual collector. They're run by someone. Yes. They're run by someone who looks at this hobby not as in, and PSA squeezes everyone out of their money too.
Business, absolutely.
But they're coming at it from, I guarantee you, Nat Turner does not have this secret collection of cards in pro molds. He wants his cards graded. So he's coming at it from a collector and how he would, as a collector, want to see the hobby, where Michael Rubin is like, how can I fund the most white parties? Like that's, it's, two very different ways of going about it. And I, say what you will about Nat. I know a lot of folks that watch us aren't a big fan of Nat PSA. That being said, he's an actual collector. He actually is collecting these cards. And to him, it's a chestnut swinging contest to try and, have the best collection.
Yeah.
and a Yule log swinging contest.
That too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. He's a collector using his own product, right? And it's different than a collector using his product to make himself. I mean, that Matt Turner's not making money. I'm sure he's paid handsomely by PSA.
I'm sure he's doing well.
Doing okay. Yeah, doing okay.
But it's the difference between doing this just to make money to then doing this because I want to have the best version of all these things that I'm in charge of, kind of thing. So that is actually pretty exciting. I just wanted to throw in one last thing real quick here. We talked to Doc or Bill at Doc's. I've talked to him a number of times. He's like, when he pulls a card out of a box or whatever, and he talks a lot about how, well, this card won't sell for me at the shows. I'm going to put it on eBay. And a lot of these cards, like the only way you're going to be able to sell them is on eBay. So like people are already using eBay to list those cards, but this sounds like a better opportunity to really get, kind of make a super highway between the person listing it and the person looking for it. And so there's it kind of takes the barriers down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a little bit of an update. You remember a while back, the cards that were sent to the Best Western and they disappeared and nobody knew where they were. And apparently there was a employee that saw the box and was like, oh, I'm taking that, and left and didn't come into work next day. Then he was arrested. Well, he has been sentenced now to 4 to 6 years in prison for stealing $2.1 million in cards. Just wanted to update everybody about that. I mean, I would totally think that the guy had no idea how much the cards were worth. He looked at the boxes like, oh, these are worth money, and took them, having no idea he was taking over $2 million in cards. And now he's going to be sitting in prison for at least 4 years. Like, why did I just not go to work that day? I'll bring them back and everything will be okay. Yeah.
I've mentioned on the show a few times how it's like the reason it's so tough for things legally to happen in the hobby is because it's confusing. You see imagine a court case where a judge has to determine a monopoly between two companies that are just making pieces of cardboard, right? So like, it's very confusing. What's not confusing for the legal system is that
dollar signs
and dollar signs, right? So this 2.1, and maybe criminals, especially this guy, the card industry confused him too, because he probably thought he picked up like a couple $100 worth of cards, and all went from a misdemeanor where he's probably out on probation.
And they got all the cards back, but like 2 of them, I was going to say, and he's still going to jail for 4 years because he's an idiot.
I was going to ask if they got the full restitution on that, if they got the full amount back or not.
I believe they got all the cards, but there were 2 missing and they haven't found those. So,
okay. Right.
I mean, it wasn't the worst case scenario considering how it started off, but
right.
Boy. The insurance company is more than happy to pay for those 2 cards, comparatively speaking. So, or FedEx or whoever they had the insurance with. I think it was a FedEx package, right?
Yeah.
So, like, again, don't use FedEx. I don't know what you're doing there. I kind of blame FedEx in this somehow.
So I had to
find a way not to pay the insurance.
Right.
So this past weekend, I had to make up a list of the top, what I consider to be the top stories of the year, and those are going to be revealed on our
Wednesday.
Was it? Yeah, our Wednesday show, and this was not.
They don't have to watch Wednesday because this is it. Is that what
on my list? I had dubious thefts as one of the potential top stories of the year, because we've had a couple of these where cards went missing and things were kind of weird. But yeah, you should watch Wednesday show. We give out some awards.
Dubious, I like it.
Dubious thefts.
Yes. All right. I don't know if you guys live under a rock or not, but Prism Football has been released, and I think they're pretty attractive looking cards, but boy, those suckers are expensive. Wow. And Joe, I know you've been watching some breaks, seeing some great cards pulled. Keith Byers 1 of 1 has already been pulled. So if you're looking for that, don't bother getting in a break. You're not going to get it.
Well, I can set you up with the guy who broke it.
Oh,
friend of the channel, good. Dane from Dynasty Breaks. He can hook you up with the guy who pulled it, I'm sure.
But I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I know Jaden Daniels is playing okay. Caleb Williams has been not awful, but how is this stuff still $1,000 a box?
First off, I've been watching a ton of breaks, and it is a kick in the chestnuts.
Awful.
Every single, I've seen just a handful that have been decent. And, I just watched someone, I won't say their name because I think I forget it. Sky something. He broke a box and he's booming and going ape shit over a JJ McCarthy numbered card. And at first I'm like, oh, well, it's the true gold. No, it was just the orange out of 249. He was talking about it and listed it like it was the greatest on the thumbnail, like it was the greatest box ever. Hell, looking at the other boxes, it might be. I mean, it's a $400 or $500 card, but geez,
you pay for half your box, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. And if it's FOTL, you're out of luck. Shit, whatever. Shit out of luck. The acronym. Yeah. No. I was trying to think of shit out of luck. What is the acronym for that? But like, it is a terrible product. You're not getting your money back. You are getting maybe 20% value out of most of these boxes. The quarterback thing, it's concerning, not because of the autographs, but Prism seems to be more of a parallel set. So like the 101s, I think in the past, like the 101 non-autograph has actually been more valuable than the 101 autograph. So that's not as huge of a deal, not having autographs. That being said, man, the good quarterback class needs to be even better. And you're not guaranteed to even get a base card of one of the quarterbacks. So what are we doing? It's just
a big set, isn't it? Like 400 cards or something like that?
Or that's how Keith Byers 101 is a thing that happened. It's 400 cards, plus you have all the inserts, plus you have all the parallels. And we were talking with Chuck and Ed after we recorded 8 questions this week, and we were talking about Prism. And he goes, oh, I'd love to open up a case of that, but you get maybe one box that might make your money back, and then the rest of them are just punches in the face.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I've had a problem with Panini with their products for a while, obviously. Like, do you need this entire quarterback class, maybe the entire rookie class needs to all be bangers in order for it to make the money out of a box. Like it would need to be everything. Everybody would need to be great. And even then, I wonder if you can make $1,000, like $1,000.
If that happened, EP, the price would be even higher then. And it would just be the same thing on a different level. Like we've seen that in the past, though. Like the prices that they charge just make it impossible to get the value out of it. And like, I would love to rip it. It's a nice looking set. I like the design. I like the different parallels.
Yeah, the hollows are nice.
Get into that, but it's just you're an idiot if you're opening this stuff because you cannot make your money back or even get close to making your money back on it.
Like, is it even worth getting in a break? Like, the big break's going to be too expensive, probably too, right? So get into a break.
You have to do a random team and hope you get lucky twice. You have to hope you get lucky on the team you get, and you have to get lucky that one of the players from that team gets pulled. Because I guarantee you, the person that got the Eagles was really, really bummed out at first. And then they were probably like, okay, I broke even because I got the Keith Byers 101. We're talking about price. Could you imagine that Panini doesn't even have to pay for the licenses for the autograph of the biggest players in it? Like, this is like profit galore for them, box after box, because again, they're lucky, I guess. Could you imagine if they did have to pay for the licenses, though, of those players to get their autographs in them? How much would a box of Prism be? The autographs don't add a ton to the like 1-to-1 ratio. Like the black 101 versus the autograph black 101 are probably close-ish in value, but you're adding that other chase, right? You're adding that additional 101 for that player that you're missing out on. So it's just, I'd love to open it too. I'm not, that's a $200 box to me.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And I hope I break even on that.
Even 400. The way prices are right now, even like 400 is probably the price. Yeah.
If that were $400 and I had money in my card account, I would absolutely buy a box because it would be fun. And that's a lot of money for for what you get out of it. Even if the values of everything didn't change because the box was a cheaper box, I still think you would have a hard time getting your 400 out of it.
And that's less than half of the actual price, right?
Yeah.
The 400 is even less than half.
The regular hobby boxes are around 1,000, which is just blows my mind. Do you guys know now? This is always fun every year. Do you know the total number of parallels that they have in the set this year?
I saw
can
this
guess.
and I
I can guess,
cannot remember. Was it like 80?
I was going to say like 49.
63.
63. I know
So,
it was.
but
Yeah.
again, here you are. You're charging this much, and you're making more parallels, and you have a big set. These are all ways, again, that companies hide the fact that they're making way more of a product. You're all these different numbered, you'll have throw a couple more parallels in there, make the set a little bigger. Now all of a sudden you're printing like twice as much as you were, but you're trying to act like it's just as valuable. Like the games that like they have a really hard time cloaking what they're doing because it's very obvious to anybody, but people still buy it. So here I am. What's it matter? It doesn't matter what I say on this little podcast. People are going to buy it, and they do buy it, and they lose their money.
It's the same thing that's going to happen eventually with Fanatics products. You know, people should be smarter, but they're not, so they're going to keep buying it. The one thing I've heard break after break, rip after rip of this is I hit the right cards, just not the right player. Yeah, no shit. Like, because the checklist is so big, the chances of you hitting the right card and the right player at the same time are astronomical. It's like, oh, I hit this 101. Like, in all fairness to Dane, he did not say, oh, right card, wrong player. He didn't say something that stupid. But when people were ripping and pulling golds, and they're like, oh, if this is Michael Penix or if this is whoever, and it's a Falcon, they're like, oh, and they pull back and it's the other rookie for the Falcons from like the 5th round. He's like, oh, I was this close. I'm like, no, you weren't. You were as close to hitting the Penix as you were hitting any other card. It doesn't matter that it happened to be a Falcon. So, yeah, the people doing that game, like, oh, man, if I just hit on these, that's the point. You're proving the point. Ah, crazy.
Yeah, Mike, when you were saying about how you were talking about they can just make more, I was thinking one of ones. Because there's probably multiple. There's probably like 3 or 4 different kinds of one of ones in this product, right? Probably. I mean, like, so I mean, we used to joke about the eBay one of ones. That was the way people used to like make their fake fake scarcity. But now we just have companies just doing it. We'll just throw them all in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and here's one thing I'm surprised Panini never did. They have
don't give them ideas.
It's getting a little too late for this now, but they have so many retired players in their sets, right? A huge selection of them. Why did they never do like a retro set with one of the IPs that they own and have all those players in that set and release that? I know, like, I still think newer people would buy that stuff too, and older collectors would love it. You know, you could still hit a Barry Sanders auto out of it, or an Emmitt Smith, or a Troy Aikman. You know, you could do. Like, they own all the Donruss and playoff IP.
Pinnacle.
Go back, Pinnacle,
retro contenders
Pacific,
with the 3 different subsets.
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
And they don't do it. And then you could throw a couple of the new players into that set. Like, I don't know.
And make that low cost, set that entry level buyers or people of our generation want to open up some cool product, but we can't afford it because it's $1,000 a box. You know,
Panini, call me.
I mean, hell, they still might do it because they're going to lose the licenses, so it might just be unlicensed version of those cards. Maybe bring back Pro Line. Do they own the Pro Line IP where they could have them all wearing those ridiculous sweatpants?
Yeah, I don't know who owns that actually. Yeah. I think, don't know.
Mike, you showed that 93 playoff. They don't make the cards with that technology anymore, but that'd be kind of cool to see another set, bring back a set like that with whatever that technology was.
Well, they're not going to do it, EP.
I know.
All right. I'm going to do another things I saw on Twitter because I had fun with that last week, and because you guys were just talking about eBay one-of-ones. Okay. One of the things that I saw on Twitter was a debate. There was an eBay seller that is selling one of the Ohtani Tops Now cards, numbered 17 out of 17, which is his jersey number, and said it's an eBay one-of-one. Is it? What are your thoughts? There was a lot of discussion about this. It's not a one-of-one, but in a way it kind of is, because it's the only one you're going to find his jersey number out of his jersey number. Thoughts?
I mean, it's not a one-on-one, But this is like the least offensive of the things annoying eBay sellers.
But it's the
Like,
only one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's
can
what I'm
get
saying.
like that.
I mean, to be fair, you can only get one 16 out of 17 as well, but that's neither here nor there.
But
You
17
can
is
only
his jersey number. It is.
if someone, I actually didn't know that, but if someone pulled a 1 out of 7 of his
Then you got them to put them together. It makes a jersey number.
1-7
eBay
jersey
101.
number, I think that's even a bigger eBay 101. Yeah, I mean, this is not anything new. People have been doing stuff like this for years. It's still fun. It's fun to see people stretch. I've had people use a cert number ended in 12, like a PSA cert,
No.
and it was a Tom Brady card, and they
No.
said eBay 101 because the cert. I think I even screen capped that and sent it to you boys. So
I
yeah.
totally do that. I would totally
Yeah.
do that.
like the eBay 101, I love how it has gone from, we've talked about this before, eBay 101 has gone from this thing that we used to mock when people would make the stretch to people actually thinking, oh, this is actually a good thing for my card because it's an eBay 101, where people actually think it's a good thing. It doesn't mean anything. Like it doesn't, people in the hobby who actually know, they don't really care about that.
Especially a card this big, I don't think you need to put that. Like a card number 17 of 17 of Shohei, I don't think you need to do the bells and whistles of, oh, this is an eBay 101. I think that card's going to sell for whatever it sells for regardless.
Well, let me take a tangent on this too, because there are a lot of people that don't think that a jersey number should carry a premium in a serial number. So
I disagree.
I disagree too. I totally disagree. And my comeback is, okay, so if you had the option to buy the 17 out of 17 or the 4 out of 17, which one would you pick? And I'm going to bet your answer is 17 out of 17. So you can't say it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
But a lot of people do. I've seen that on Twitter a lot.
And like to the point where I even make jokes. I was opening up Fleer Ultra Wolverine and I pulled a numbered card and I look over, I'm like, I went off the jersey number. I mean, that's just a thing in the hobby. And anyone who says, oh, it doesn't hold a premium just doesn't have that card.
Yeah.
They have the 4 out of 17.
Yeah.
So they of course don't want it to hold a premium, but it does. And Marvel doesn't have jersey numbers, right? I'm trying to think if there's any Marvel characters who wear jerseys, but there might be. But Marvel doesn't have jersey numbers for the most part, but the bookends hold a premium. Mm-hmm. A 1 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 holds more of a premium than the 7 out of 10. So we make silly reasons to have cards more valuable that I will never understand, but this one I do. This one I think makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Like that. What I think a lot of the things about this hobby is one of the things a lot of collectors look at is, how is my collection unique? And saying, oh, well, all of my numbered cards are numbered to the jersey number. All my cards are numbered to 1 out of whatever, or the back,
or they're numbered 69. Yeah,
right. It could be 69 to 69 every time. You know, that's one of the things we look at that sort of thing. When I was talking about it earlier, and I love that. That's very, very, very cool. The early part was me just saying that the people who call them eBay 101s is the part that I was pooping on earlier. I do like the 17 out of 17 because of the jersey number thing, but stop calling it eBay 101. That was my thing.
Okay. This other thing I saw on Twitter, I have to share this. I've been waiting to share this. You're not sharing this stuff with us anymore. You're waiting to tell us. Oh yeah, this one I was not giving you a heads up for, because I want your honest reaction to this one.
Right.
There is a baseball player, TJ Hopkins. His MLB debut patch was pulled. The person who has the card tweeted at him and said, if you take my cousin and I out and get us wasted the next time you're in San Diego, I will give you this card. I want your thoughts.
Dude.
That's
awesome.
This is the greatest thing I've ever heard. I don't know. Is this player any good, EP?
I don't recognize the name, so I'm not.
Okay.
He's not like, I don't think he's like a star or anything, but I mean.
So I don't know what the low end of this version of the card goes for, right? Like a lesser player debut patch, couple of $1,000s, right? I'm guessing. If I said, hey, take the 3 of us out next time you're in Pittsburgh, we would make up that money in booze, right? Like I think we would be able to like blow out the value of that card. I guarantee you the cousin is like Ox from Stripes, right? Like he's like this massive guy who can probably pound the drink. So I love it. I mean, this is so much cooler than just getting a couple of bucks for a card. This is so much cooler than that because the experience you have. Now, did the guy ever respond? Did the player respond?
As of the time that I wrote this down, he had not. So I think I bookmarked it, but I forgot to check it before we recorded today. But he had not at the time. But I knew you guys would get quite a kick out of this one.
Yeah. I mean, you're trading a card for an experience like this, like ridiculous experience. Like you will talk about that story, about that card, and about that night with that player forever to every one of your buddies forever and ever. You'll be in the nursing home. And you won't remember everything, but you remember that night, and you'll be telling that story to everybody in the nursing
or depending on how good of a night it is, you don't remember it the next day.
It's possible. Yes.
So
if it's a really good night, you don't remember.
A really good night.
Okay, a couple of card sales this week that were interesting. Speaking of MLB debut, I guess the Junior Caminero one sold for $66,000. So if he's selling for that, he's a good player, a good rookie player. But what is the Paul Skeens worth?
10x? 10 times?
It's got to be over $500,000, right?
Yeah.
It has to be $500,000 minimum.
Yeah.
Because of what the Pirates who got shit on were offering is more than 10x that, I think he'd be, right? So, like, I mean, I'm with you, Mike, at least $500,000, which is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. That's how much of a premium game used anything holds now because nothing else is game used. So we're really going to put a premium on it.
This one was kind of shocking to me too. There was a 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle that was autographed that sold. It was a PSA 3 with a 10 autograph, and it sold for $793,000. Now, I found it interesting because Mickey Mantle signed a ton, but back when we collected, you didn't have cards like this signed because it was considered defacing the card by getting it autographed. Now it's not. So there really aren't probably that many of the 52 Topps cards signed. And this was a huge sale. I think they said it exceeded what their like high-end expectation was on the auction. Almost $800,000 for a PSA 3 with a 10 autograph on it.
When you said the price, I both thought, wow, that's a huge sale. But I also thought, wow, I'm kind of surprised it's not more. Like my brain was going both ways with it. And I will say with the Mantle card, isn't there an autograph on it, like a facsimile?
Yeah.
Isn't that part of the card? So I always thought I've seen those before, like autographed mantles, and I'm like, that looks really weird to me because it's an autograph on top of an autograph. But yeah, like part of me thought that would be $1 million card when you started talking about it. Maybe if it was a higher grade, it would be. But
I think it would have to be like if that were a 7 or something like that, 6, 7.
I have to be over $1 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the same thought. Like there are probably so few of those 52s that were graded. I mean, you said that, Mike. Like there are. I can't imagine how few there are out there that are graded. Because we think about taking a bunch of cards, a bunch of his the other cards, 60s cards, whatever, Mantle cards to him to sign, or any number of things, baseball, whatever. But the 52 Mantle is like the Grail type card that nobody was don't deface that card. So that's why paid that. Why somebody paid that amount of money for it. But yeah, I also agree with Joe though that like when I was thinking about it in that context, $1 million seems like it's probably what the price probably should have been.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to quiz you guys every now and then. And it is that time of the year, and not totally finished, but for the top graded players at PSA in 2024, the top 10 list. I have it right here on my phone. Okay. The top 10 players with the most graded cards at PSA in 2024. Who wants to go first? Joe, I think you're the reigning champion, so I'll let you get the low hanging fruit here.
Okay, I'll go Wemby.
Very good. Number 1, with 407,000 cards graded.
Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
No,
Really?
she is not.
Are you serious?
We did this
That's
before.
crazy.
We've done this.
Wow. All right.
She did not make the top 10.
And again, it is not because people don't like to grade her cards, EP. It's just she doesn't have as many cards as some of these football players and basketball players do. I'm going to go with Paul Skeens.
No, he is not in the top 10.
Thank God. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is
done.
number 2 with 269,000 cards graded.
Nice. LeBron James.
LeBron James is number 7 with 89,000.
Okay.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. checks in at number 10 with 77,000. You guys are on a roll.
I'm going to go with, as they call him, the field general. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels. Does he have enough cards out yet?
No, he does not.
He doesn't.
He is not in the top 10 yet.
Okay.
I bet Barry Sanders is, though, right?
No, he is not.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
What
football players would.
Who was last year's class? Who are the quarterbacks in last year's class, EP? Why can't I think of anyone from last year's quarterback?
Because it was the Kenny Pickett class. That's why.
No,
that's why.
No, that's the next.
Was that 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago. Who were the freaking quarterbacks?
Will Levis.
Bryce Young. I'm going to put Bryce Young on the list.
CJ Stroud.
Wrong one.
CJ Stroud.
Yes, CJ Stroud is number 3 with 223,000 cards.
Trying to get you to say Will Levis.
Yeah, I'm not saying Will Levis.
I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to get. You're halfway there.
Oh my God. Who's the Baltimore guy? Adley Rushman? Nope, that's not right.
He's not. Adley.
He's not on there?
Yeah.
Is that an actual player? Did I make him up?
Yes. Yeah. No, you made that was good. Yeah, you got him.
Okay. All right. EP, your turn.
Mickey Mantle?
No, he is not on the list either.
Patrick Mahomes.
No. Surprisingly.
Are there any more? That's a good question.
There is one more football player.
But it's not Josh Allen.
It is not Josh Allen.
Okay.
But there's a guy that you're probably going to be like, huh? And then you're like, yeah.
Anthony Richardson?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
Yep.
With
That makes sense.
107,000 cards graded.
That makes sense. Who's the big basketball player? Is Trae Young a guy?
He is, but he's probably not the one, though.
Okay. Mike, it's getting ugly here.
I mean, there's got to be a couple more NBA players on there. So
yeah, there really is.
Steph Curry on there?
No. Think bigger star than Steph Curry.
Bigger than Wembanyama and LeBron.
You got
James.
Michael Jordan. You got LeBron James. Who comes after them?
Kobe.
Very good.
There we go.
Kobe. There's another basketball player on here you're probably not going to get. But
Bedard.
No.
Is Bedard on there now?
Is the other NBA player a modern player or a
modern player?
Modern player.
Yes. Then the last couple years, about the last 3 years, maybe rookie 3 years ago.
And what you were going to say? What's it? We have 2 left, right?
3 left. There are 2 baseball players and 1 basketball player.
Okay. Is Pete Rose one of the baseball players?
No.
Okay.
Ricky Henderson, God rest his soul.
No. Think younger. Think rookie, maybe even.
Drew Jones. EP, come on. This is you. This is all you. I can't help.
I mean, and we said Skeens, so it's not Skeens, but I'm trying to think who else was even.
So who else from?
Yeah, I'm drawing
from this year's rookie class, 2024 rookie class.
Was one of the rookies of the year, Anthony Volpe.
No,
for the Yankees.
How about from the Reds?
Oh, Ellie De La Cruz.
There you go, Ellie De La Cruz.
You're welcome, EP. I'll carry you.
The basketball player was Anthony Edwards.
Anthony
Amen. That makes
with
sense.
80,000.
Jeez.
And you guys totally forgot to say Shohei Ohtani at number.
Oh my
Oh no, I blame EP for that.
11,000.
I blame EP for that. That's on him.
Okay,
Yep.
well, you know, that was a lot of fun.
Oh,
This
that was brutal.
is really going to be fun. I have a list of whatnot searches and some statistics based on them from this year. The Paul Skeens search on whatnot was up 230,000%. Now, that one's a little misleading because nobody was searching for Paul Skeens in 2023 on there. So that was kind of dumb. But Caitlin Clark, her searches were up 2,400% in 2024 over 2023. Victor Wembanyama was up 770%. The WNBA search for WNBA was up 870%. Tennis cards were actually up 200%. Golf cards were up 30%. Graded Pokemon were up 255% on whatnot.
That's crazy.
And Magic the Gathering searches doubled in 2024 over 2023. But that graded Pokemon, like crazy.
That big card account, the big sports card account just figured out about Pokemon. That must be it.
That has to be it, right? I mean, there aren't a lot of the tennis is a bit surprising, but you know, they released Topps Chrome and Topps or Topps Granite, I think, was a set that they released, I think, in 2024. So that might have been why it was a little bit higher end, and people are probably looking for breaks of that. But yeah, the Pokemon is the one. Like Caitlin Clark, obviously, hers would be going up. WNBA is just brought up because of Caitlin Clark, but that graded Pokemon going up that much year over year, 2023 to 2024, when it was already being broken and sold all over on whatnot. That's kind of crazy.
What the wild thing is, like a lot of the cards don't sell for a ton of money, and even in a 10. Like some of them do for sure, but if you're buying tons and tons of boxes of Pokemon just to break them and grade them, you're probably not going to make any money because they don't sell for a super premium unless they're like the super duper rare ones, and even those are not going to be. It's not like you're getting a $500 card out of it, so that seems like a really odd number. Like when you said that, it was really surprised me.
Since it's graded though, that's probably people that are having shows that are selling graded cards, not doing the breaking. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was going to say, Mike. It's not just breaking on whatnot. There's a lot of people who do have those like specific shows where they auction off actual cards. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's why that started to go up.
Yeah, whether we like it or not, those live selling platforms, and especially whatnot, I mean, they're big and they're really, really getting bigger with collectibles. So
it's big in comic books too. Whatnot, those live auctions are huge in comic books now.
So there you go. All right. Well, what is it? Friday, right? Is that when we have that?
Yeah, there are a lot of assignments. You have to watch all the shows all week.
Yeah, let's recap everything here.
Yeah.
We have a show coming out on Wednesday, Christmas morning, but you need to run down and pick up whatever you watch us on and watch it. If you have the family around, put us on the smart TV and say, hey, check out these guys. They're great. But let us know your favorite Christmas movie, and you could win stuff I have in here, including the Blood Red variant 1 of 1. You don't want to miss that one. We have, what is the show we have Wednesday? It's the end of the year awards, the first ever. Don't miss it. Even if you don't watch it until later on Wednesday, I'll allow you, like, what do we want to give them? 6 hours, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, 7 a.m. to what?
8, 9, 1? 10, 11, 12, 1. Yeah, 1 o'clock. You better watch it by 1 o'clock.
After lunch, just put it on the TV and let it play on a loop, and just take it if you need to take a nap, and then wake up and then finish watching.
We'll be like the new Yule log, the new fireplace.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Saver on your exactly.
The soothing dulcet tones of the three of us.
Yeah.
And Friday, we've got an episode of 3 cards for you in the morning, but Friday night, 8 o'clock. The holidays are almost, well, we're halfway in. They're not almost over, but Christmas is over. It's not quite New Year's yet. you don't have anything to do Friday night at 8 o'clock, watch the damn video. 8 questions with Silver Sports. It's going to be fantastic. I saw some of this one, and you're not going to believe how good this is. But I think that was all we have. Anybody else have anything they would like to say to our viewers a couple days before Christmas? No.
I do. I want to.
I was waiting for EP to drop a C-bomb. EP?
No, I'm not going
Before
to say
Christmas.
that.
Great gift.
Mike said about how my packs my gift is pretty loaded. It is. I thought about it, and like I appreciate all of you so much. I appreciate. I tell these guys every week. Thanks, guys. A lot of fun. I appreciate you guys so much. I feel like if we didn't have the subs and the viewers and the people that were commenting, all that sort of stuff, like we'd still be doing it, but we wouldn't be having as much fun. We wouldn't be putting as much effort into it. And so I just wanted to say, as a thank you, that really a cool box of stuff. So thank you guys so much. Merry Christmas,
Joe. Nothing.
I want to say Merry Christmas, cocksuckers, so bad, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, don't.
I won't. I'm not going to say it. I will not say it.
All right, but remember who loves you most, because only one of us gave you a blood red variant sketch card 1/1 with an autograph on it. That's me. I love you guys. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys.
See ya, boys.
Merry Christmas.